How's it, guys? This is going to be the tutorial for the glow cubes which I use in my game in order to make the arena. So I've started by making a 3D cube, add that now to your scene. What you're going to have to do next, if you don't have it, is enable, or download I should say, post-processing from the package manager. What you're going to do next is create a material and call it glow, or whatever you like. In there we're going to enable emissions, and from here you're going to choose a color. So I'm going to choose the purple. Now how it works is with the intensities, you can either go into the minuses or you can go positive. Now it should be either greater than 0 or less than 0. So for this, I will use this number. Go here. Then what we're going to do, actually make it a bit lower. What we're going to do next is create an empty game object, call it post processing. Now from here what we're going to do is add a volume. I'm going to create a new profile here, add post processing, and our blue makes the cube glow. Enable threshold and intensity. And now threshold is what I was just talking about, so whether you've got to even move this down into the negatives to allow for much lower numbers, or you can increase this to allow for higher numbers, but we'll leave it here just for the moment. Next, add this to your cube. Okay, so we got that basic glowing. Next, what we're going to do is, so that's changed the glow. That is now making the cube glow. So we'll make this lower. Next, what we have to do is go to Edit, Project Settings, Graphics. This is the pipeline you're using for the renderer. Click that. This shows me what I'm using, so I'm using the medium one. So we now can close that. Open that. Whichever one it comes up with, enable HDR. Now we've got glow, as you can see. Now to make this glow in the game view, what we have to do is go to your main camera, and now what we want to do is enable post processing. Here it is. Now it's glowing. Okay, so now that we have the cube glowing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower down the scale. And then we're going to thin it out using the rect tool. Then we're going to move it. Now we just want to adjust it, just that it's popping out. It's just for design. So now I'm going to decrease the glow, just because I've made it a bit high, just for tutorial purposes. We've got something lower like that. Then we go on that side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this. So now what I did, I just did it for the top and for the sides. I didn't do it for underneath because of course you're not going to see that in the game. And then we can simply just change the rotation (90 degrees). just put that in here. What we're going to do is we're going to put it to each side, and it's as simple as that. You can see it in the game view now. That's to that side. So now what I will do is I'll just duplicate that, and I will move it to the front. And then finally we'll add it to the top. Now remember, depending on the screen you have, the display I should say, and the different RGBs and all that stuff, the way that your screen set up, your colors will be slightly different. Okay, now of course my computer's a bit slow today, but you'll make this perfect. And then what will happen is you'll prefab these blocks, and then you'll change the size as you wish. So for me, for my arena floor, I'm using about a 6 by 6 by 6. And then when that's all done and you put it all together, this is how it looks. This is what it looks like in the prefab, and then this is the prefab that I'm using for the game. And then of course this is how it looks in its final product. So as you've all seen this before in the previous devlogs, this is how it all looks in the end. Perfectly put together. So for the walls we're using a 10 by 10 by 10, and for the floor is using a 6 by 6 by 6. So you'll resize it as you wish and make it whatever colors you want, but this is how you make the glow cube for my arena. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next devlog.